Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. Today, we're really digging into a question many of you have sent in. Is Vale a good time to buy now? We've gathered, quite a stack of analyses, reports, financial data, trying to unpack this global mining giant. Our mission today is basically to distill the most important nuggets from all this, giving you a clear, comprehensive picture of Vale and its investment potential. Before we jump into the numbers, though, if you find this exploration helpful, please remember to subscribe, like, leave a comment. Your support really does help us bring you more of these analyses. Also, if there's a specific company you'd like us to look into, just pop in the comments below. We'd love to hear your suggestions. And hey, if you're feeling extra generous, you can always buy us a coffee. Keeps the insights flowing. Okay, let's unpack this. We're looking at a fascinating company, Vale, a major player, global mining sector, mostly known for iron ore. To figure out if it's a smart time to buy, we're going to break down its financial foundation, valuation, market sentiment, and crucially, the risks involved. Think of it like peeling an onion. We want to get to the core.
So let's start with the bedrock. How is Vale doing financially? What do the raw numbers tell us?
Well, looking at the financials, Vale generated roughly $38.26 billion in trailing 12 months revenue, TTM revenue.
Right.
And that's a huge number. It shows their scale. But what's maybe more compelling are the margins. A gross margin of 34.24%, net profit margin 13.81%. Those are pretty solid figures, especially for a capital-intensive industry like mining. Tells you they're quite efficient, turning ore into profit. TTM earnings came in at $5.29 billion. It really speaks to their operational strength.
And how about recent performance? For those watching quarter to quarter, did they hit their marks? Any surprises?
Actually, yeah. They beat EPS expectations in Q2 2025, reported $0.50 against an expected $0.33. That's a strong beat. Usually signals good cost control, maybe stronger demand than analysts figured. However, and this is important for the bigger picture, that EPS figure was down from $0.65 in the same quarter last year.
Okay, so a beat now, but lower than before.
Exactly. So while that can surprise analysts, the overall earnings trend shows some, let's say, volatility. Suggests consistent rapid growth isn't necessarily baked in. Future projections, though, do point to annual EPS growth around 8.4%. So hinting at gradual improvement, a steady climb, not an explosion upwards.
That's an interesting dynamic, isn't it? A beat this quarter, but a dip year over year. Beyond those quarterly earnings, which can be a bit of a roller coaster, what about Vale's overall financial health? Is the balance sheet robust? Can it weather the storms? Because we know commodity prices can really swing.
Right, and that's a key consideration. Stability, resilience. Vale has a debt-to-equity ratio of 48.4%. You might also see it as 0.43. Basically, for every dollar of equity, about 43 cents of debt. Generally manageable, but some other metrics, they raise questions, like the Altman Z-score. It's 1.7.
Isn't anything below 1.8 considered a bit risky?
Yeah, it often signals a higher probability of financial distress. So Vale is right there, on the cusp. Needs careful watching, and their debt-free cash flow is 8.67, also a bit high. Suggests it would take, quite a few years of free cash flow to pay down that debt.
Okay, so not an immediate danger, but maybe not bulletproof if things get tough. What about covering short-term bills? Liquidity.
Exactly. Liquidity seems adequate. Current ratio is 1.22. So $1.22 in current assets for every dollar of current liabilities. But the quick ratio, which takes out inventory, that's lower at 0.85.
Right, and inventory is big for a miner.
Yeah, so it shows strong, but maybe not exceptional, short-term stability. Cash flows themselves are solid, which is vital, but you absolutely need to monitor them. They're tied directly to those commodity cycles. Iron ore drops, cash flow tightens. Fast.
Okay, so we have decent margins, a recent earnings beat, but also some balance sheet metrics that make you pause. Given all that, how does Vale really stack up against competitors, the other big names in metals and mining? Leader. Follower.
Oh, Vale is definitely a titan, no question. One of the world's largest producers of iron ore, huge in nickel too, which is critical for stainless steel, and increasingly batteries. That gives them a global footprint, a massive asset base few can match. And what's more, their logistics are vertically integrated. Mine, rail, port. They control it.
Which is a big deal, right? Not just efficiency.
Huge deal. It's a massive competitive moat. Means they can often deliver ore cheaper, more reliably than rivals using external infrastructure. Gives them real advantages.
So it's strategic positioning, not just size. Does that show up in the financial performance compared to peers?
It does, yeah. What's noteworthy is its profitability margins, asset efficiency metrics, like return on assets at 5.87%, return on equity 13.5%, return on invested capital 10.9%. These are generally above average for the industry. Expert analysis highlights its, quote, financial resilience and versatility, meaning they're not just big, they're efficient, they adapt, which is key for navigating those cycles. They make their assets work harder.
Okay, so we've looked at the financials. Signs of resilience, strong competitive edge. But numbers on paper are one thing. How's market actually valuing this giant right now? Is it fair? Or is there maybe a bargain to be had?
Well, looking at the valuation metrics, it gets pretty interesting. The price-to-earnings ratio, PE, is 7.95. The forward PE, looking ahead, is 5.24.
Which is pretty low, isn't it?
Very low, generally speaking. Often signals potential undervaluation, or maybe the market sees risks. Its price-to-free cash flow, PFCF, is 20.37. Enterprise value to EBITDA is 4.01. Also looks low. Plus, they offer a dividend yield of 1.5%, so some income there for investors.
Now, what do those low numbers tell us compared to the industry? Or historically? Does it scream good deal or maybe warning sign?
Generally, these multiples are well below industry averages, which strongly suggests Vale is relatively undervalued at its current price. It could mean the market's maybe too focused on past commodity cycles or maybe overlooking their move into battery metals. That could unlock value long term. A Benjamin Graham screen, the classic value investing approach, gives it a 71% score for value.
So favorable, but maybe not a slam dunk for a strict value type.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Favorable, but below the threshold for, say, strong interest. But relative valuation, comparing PE and EBITDA to peers. Yeah, it looks attractively priced. We didn't see a discounted cash flow analysis in our sources, but these low metrics, especially versus historical norms for Vale, they do point towards undervaluation, assuming, of course, commodity prices hold up and cash flows stay sustainable.
Okay, so the value metrics suggest it might be underpriced, a potential diamond in the rough for long-term folks.
Yeah.
But even a gem has to deal with market moods, right? What do the charts, the recent price action tell us? Any technical signals for traders?
Yeah, looking technically, recent trading shows Vale kind of consolidating, moving sideways near $9.75 to $10.15 per share. Over the past month, it did show some upward momentum, a 3.4% jump in July 2025. That's positive short term, but the price is still bouncing around in a moderate range, hasn't broken out, hasn't collapsed. Support seems to be around $9.50. Buyers step in there. Resistance looks like it's around $10.60. Selling picks up there.
So stuck in a channel, basically.
Pretty much. Implied technical sentiment is neutral to maybe modestly bullish, helped by the recent positive news, the earnings beat. Volatility is moderate, typical for a cyclical resource stock. Don't expect a smooth ride day to day, more like gentle swings.
All right, we've got financials, competitive position, valuation, technicals. Now, what's the general feeling out there about Vale, market sentiment, and what events could actually move the stock?
Well, the recent news, that Q2 earnings beat we talked about, definitely gave it a short-term boost, drove some price strength. Analyst ratings are generally, I'd say, neutral to positive. Chartmill, for instance, rates it 5 out of 10. They note the excellent profitability, but they also flag concerns on financial health and growth. So a balanced, kind of cautious view. And that Vale diagram value screen, giving it 71% average interest, it reinforces that. Seen as decent value, but not, overwhelmingly compelling. It's not generating huge buzz, but it's not being ignored either.
Any signs from insiders? Or the broader investment community? Are the big players buying or selling?
Our sources didn't show any significant recent insider buying or selling, which can be telling.
Yeah, sometimes no news is news. Suggests they think the price is fair.
Could be. Fair enough. But maybe not a screaming buy or sell for them right now. However, there is some positive sentiment among social media and retail investors. Especially after that earnings beat and seeing the revenue hold up, that buzz seems to have helped support the share price, even with wider market wobbles. Shows the retail crowd is paying attention, maybe seeing that undervaluation.
Okay, experts are cautious, retail is a bit more positive. So what are the key things coming up? The catalysts that could really impact Vale stock? What should investors watch?
Short term, definitely keep an eye on the October 2025 earnings report, due October 23rd. That could really set the next direction. Investors will be watching the numbers, the outlook for iron ore, guidance. Also, there's a dividend payment coming in September 2025. That might attract some income investors, create a bit of demand. And of course, always changes in iron ore and nickel spot prices. Those can cause sharp moves. Keep an eye on global commodity markets, especially anything out of China.
And looking further out, beyond the next quarter, What are the bigger potential game changers for Vale?
Longer term, a key thing is Vale's push into battery metals, expanding their nickel and cobalt operations for the EV supply chain.
Right, positioning for the energy transition.
Exactly. It's a crucial strategic pivot. Could diversify revenue, lessen reliance just on iron ore. It's smart. We could also see M&A, maybe joint ventures. Regulatory changes in Brazil or elsewhere could be significant too. And finally, their exposure to global infrastructure demand. Stimulus spending, especially in emerging markets. As countries build, they need steel, copper, everything Vale produces. It's shifting from just traditional mining to being a key supplier for, well, the future economy.
That's a compelling long-term narrative. But
Yeah.
every investment has risks, especially mining. What are the big potential downsides here? What could go wrong?
Absolutely crucial point. Stock-specific risks. Number one is commodity price volatility. Iron ore, nickel. We keep saying it, but it's huge. Swings can hammer cash flows fast. Also, those debt ratios we mentioned.
Right.
The liquidity metrics. They pose some financial risk if conditions worsen or if they have unexpected costs. And being based in Brazil means exposure to Brazilian political risk, regulatory changes, currency fluctuations. The real moving against the dollar impacts them.
And what about those operational risks, like accidents?
Yes, event risks,
Yeah.
operational incidents, dam safety, which has tragically been an issue for Vale before environmental liabilities. These can lead to huge fines, shutdowns, and major reputational damage.
And those are just Vale-specific. What about broader market or sector risks, things affecting the whole industry?
Well, the whole metals and mining sector is inherently cyclical, very sensitive to global economic slowdowns. Demand just dries up in a recession. There's also heightened regulatory pressure. ESG, environmental social governance, is huge now. Stricter environmental rules, carbon taxes.
Trade issues, too.
Yeah, trade risks affecting mining ops worldwide. Tariffs, disputes, they can disrupt supply chains, raise costs. And of course, broader macro stuff. Global interest rates, inflation, that impacts funding costs for big projects and overall demand for their materials. These are big waves that can lift or sink all boats in the sector.
Okay, so pulling it all together. The fundamentals, the valuation, the sentiment catalysts, and those very real risks. What's the bottom line from our analysis? Is Vale a buy right now?
If we connect all the dots, our sources give Vale an overall rating of about 6.5 out of 10. The rationale is balanced. It's profitable, globally competitive, looks undervalued on paper, pays a dividend. Balance sheet is manageable, but, with caveats, those are the positive. But it's heavily exposed to commodity price swings. Growth prospects are just average, not spectacular. There's moderate balance sheet risk. And the industry is just inherently cyclical. So while it might offer better value than some peers, it's not really a strong growth story, and it faces significant macro and sector headwinds.
So what does that mean for different kinds of investors? Is it a long-term hold, a short-term trade?
Based on this analysis, it seems more appropriate for maybe short to medium-term trading rather than a pure long-term buy and hold, at least right now. Near-term, you could potentially play positive earnings momentum or try to time commodity price rallies. If you see global infrastructure spending pick up, maybe that's a trigger. But holding it long-term, you really need to be comfortable with that economic and political volatility and those commodity cycles. It's for someone who can navigate the ups and downs, not set it and forget it.
And if you are trading it short-term?
Definitely use careful position sizing and stop losses. Got to manage that risk because those commodity swings can be sharp.
So there you have it. A pretty comprehensive look at VLASA, from its financials and valuation to the risks and opportunities. It's clear that while it offers some attractive value, it definitely comes with challenges tied to its industry. A complex picture for sure.
And that raises, I think, an important question for listeners to think about. As economies shift towards decarbonization, towards new energy, how will these traditional mining giants like Vale really adapt? Beyond today's numbers, what are the long-term strategic moves they have to make, the investments, the partnerships, the tech shifts to not just survive, but actually thrive in this changing world? Will their pivot to battery metals be enough? That's the bigger question, isn't it?
Exactly. Definitely something to mull over. An evolving story. We hope this exploration helps you make more informed decisions, or at least gives you plenty to think about. Thank you for joining us for this insightful discussion, and we look forward to our next exploration together.